The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph and Shawn.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world.
Good morning. Happy Friday. It's June. It's 24th. And look at that. Give us a raise. It's 5:30 right on the dot.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Hey, I saw a viral tweet yesterday. Just very wholesome. It comes from Calgary, and Stampede's coming up soon. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to Stampede?
Absolutely not.
Me either.
I mean, it sounds great, but I'm just from Ontario, so I've only had 6 years in Alberta of a chance to go, not 33.
Yeah, very fair. Yeah, I've never been, but I've always wanted to go. And I guess something that they've been doing recently is they have been promoting Stampede with just a bunch of giant word art around the city, and one of the words is Yahoo.
Yahoo!
Yahoo! Yeehaw! Yeehaw better be one of them. Yahoo's one of them. And this lady who just moved to Calgary, she made a new friend, and so she was texting with her new friend, and she was like, "Oh, I love all the new artwork that is going up around town." She's like, "I can see oh hey from my window." And the friend was like, "Oh hey." She's like, "I haven't seen oh hey yet, but I've seen Yahoo."
Oh my gosh.
And so like morning brain kicking in right now. I'm like, "Oh hey." I was like, "Oh, OOHAY.
Yes.
Yahoo spelled backwards."
Right. Okay. Yeah.
How perfect would oh hey be though for word art around places?
Especially with a stampede, like oh hey, like HAY for hey, because there's like horses and stuff, and just like oh hey.
There's so many layers to it that oh hey works so good.
Yeah.
If that situation were to happen again, and I was walking along the sidewalk, and like a bear, this one was like 100 yards away, 200 yards away. It was a long ways away. I didn't notice it until I was safe. If it were right in front of me, it was right by the street by the radio station here. There's a bunch of parked like cars and trucks. Could you hide under a car from a bear? Do you think? Because they might be able to scratch me.
Yeah.
But could they just suplex the car and like?
Okay, I don't think they could suplex the car, but what I think they would do is that first off, you'd have to hide under like a lifted truck. Like cars are pretty close to the ground. Humans don't usually fit under them.
I think with the right motivation, I could get under.
Do you think though that you could get your entire body under there in time? Like, I feel like the bear would be like, "Hello, foot that's hanging out. Excellent. I shall grab a hold of this and pull you out." Yeah, like a horror movie. Like, you'd just be like trying to grasp at
I'm like holding on to pipes underneath.
Leave me under here. And meanwhile, it's like, this foot came off. Oh no, I better go for the rest of the leg.
Yeah, I'm just like going through all these weird scenarios. I think I have a little bit of PTSD from like walking to work and seeing a bear. I'm like going through, like when I walk into work now, I like peek around corners and I'm like listening very clearly. I'm like, is there any crunching or any big footsteps around me right now?
Shawn, I think what you should do instead of wondering if you're going to fit under a car is perhaps just bring bear spray with you.
Well, that could just be just as bad. Because what if they run right through it?
Oh.
You know?
It's a bear deterrent. It's not supposed to work. Okay, fine. Bring an air horn. Scare them off. And the entire neighborhood.
I'll just have an air horn in one hand, spray in the other.
Which compressed air would you like to be hit with? In a bit of a quandary the other night, and I would like your thoughts on what you would have done.
Oh, yes. Bring it on.
Okay. I'm at the movie theater. I'm waiting in line to buy some popcorn and pop. And...
Some pap.
Some pap.
Sorry, continue.
Sorry, pap. Over to my right is the butter station, and somebody picks up a Twix bar and is like, "Oh, somebody forgot their Twix." And the friends were like, "Oh, ha ha ha." They leave the Twix there. They go in. About 10 minutes passes of me in this line, me going and getting my pop. I go over to the butter station to get butter myself, and the Twix is still there. Do you take it or do you leave it behind?
I think I'm leaving it. Food is always so different. Were you craving a Twix in the moment, Steph?
I wasn't until it was an option, and then all of a sudden, I left it behind.
Oh, okay, and you left it.
My main reason for leaving it was I was like, I feel like this is going to be a viral TikTok video, and somebody's going to be like, "This lady stole a Twix bar, didn't even know who it was."
I have seen those videos, those type of videos where it's a setup.
It's a trap.
It's a setup. And then, but usually what happens is that if you don't take it, someone comes up to you and like, "Hey, here's $1,000 for being a good human."
Yeah, true. Nobody handed me $1,000, but for the entire movie, I sat there thinking, you know what would be really nice right now? a Twix bar.
Did you check after the movie? Did you go back?
I did have a little look-see, didn't care about it by then, and it was gone. So somebody else, or perhaps the person who it actually belonged to, did enjoy the Twix. Or maybe they were just like, ugh, forgotten food, throw that out. It could have a razor blade in it. We're looking for opinions about this forgotten chocolate bar at the butter station at the movies. Is it yours now? If you see it, are you leaving it behind? And what's your reasoning for doing either?
Yeah, so it was a Twix bar left at the movie theater at the butter station, like you said. I think anything food related, I'm leaving. It's the old Halloween adage of like you said earlier, razor blades in it. I'm just like, nah, someone else can have that.
Well, Jamie texted in and she said finders keepers. She's like, absolutely, that is going with me.
Is there any piece of food that you would take? Like, is there any, let's say it was something else, like not a Twix bar. Like, let's say if someone put a plate of lasagna there, I'd think about it.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be an absolute no from me.
Maybe if it had like saran wrap on top of it.
Like a Twix bar is probably the only thing I would consider taking. Like, I need it to be like wrapped in plastic and for sure safe, and like the odd chance that there was a bad person around shoved a razor blade in it. Like, it wouldn't. Ugh, but
I wonder. I'm picturing a rogue piece of lasagna out in the wild.
What if there was a razor blade in the lasagna?
Worth it. If my mom made it, worth it.
Facebook emails me a lot. Now, I manage a lot of pages on Facebook, so it'll be like, usually they're just a quick read the headline and delete kind of emails.
Okay.
Where it's like, oh, you could make more money this way, or we're going to give you a $10 credit. And I'm just like, yeah, what catch, Facebook, go away. Yesterday, I got an email from Facebook that said, your listing has been denied. And I was like, my listing? I haven't listed anything. So I, of course, opened the email to see what more they might say about it.
Right.
And they were like, your listing goes against our e-commerce selling practices, so we have denied it. And I was like, well, what the heck did you deny? Scrolled down, a butternut squash.
You trying to sell some butternut squash online?
I am not trying to sell butternut squash online. This is why I continue to delete Facebook emails, because this one was definitely a scam.
Oh.
And they're just trying to get into my inbox.
A little phishing.
Yeah.
A little phishing email on you.
I wonder what would have happened if I clicked on the butternut squash. Like, would it have been like butternut squash soup? Would it have been a full-on butternut squash?
I think it would have been steal all your information, butternut squash.
You're probably right. That makes the most sense.
Yeah, I don't think it's from Facebook at all. I think it's someone pretending to be Facebook. Oh my goodness. Now, if it was like rhubarb or something, you might have clicked on that. You got a lot of rhubarb, don't you?
I do have a lot of rhubarb in my backyard, and I have not yet made any barbecue sauce from it. CTV is casting for a new show, and they're looking for urban people, they say, to fall in love with some farmers.
Oh, you sent this over to me, and I'm already in love with it. Consider me hooked already. Farming for Love is what it's called. Doesn't have a starting date yet. But essentially, like you said, they're looking for city folk to try and find love on a farm.
Yeah, so they have 4 different candidates that you can read all about and get to understand, I guess, and see which one you would like to apply to meet and fall in love with, perhaps, if they choose you. I don't know how many people are signing up to go do hard work on a farm from the city life, but they have a couple different occupations. There's a horse trainer. There's a 25-year-old legacy wine guru, basically. His family owns a winery. He's already made like one of the most successful selling wines that they had when he was in high school.
Wow.
There's also just like a regular farmer that horseback rides and fixes fences and stuff. And I don't know. That's what they do in Heartland, okay?
There's a regular farmer that rides horses and fixes a fence every once in a while.
I read his entire profile. He talks about riding horses and fixing fences.
That's
Put it back,
perfect.
Heartland.
That's
Anyway.
perfect. I bet you the line's going to be so long for this wine farmer. 'Cause I'm guessing it's probably in the Okanagan somewhere.
And he said it's always wine o'clock at our winery.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like he's just like a perfect Netflix movie waiting to happen. In fact, I think I watched it last week.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be like 700 ladies from Vancouver just being like, oh, yes, I can go live on a farm with that guy right there. I hope there's some Sasky farms in here. It always makes me proud whenever I see a Sasky person featured on the show. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, okay.
Go,
We'll have to wait and see what happens. But I have some good news for you.
What's up?
That wine guy, on top of the fact that he's a wine guy,
Yeah.
also not short King Spring for him. He's 6'1".
Wow. Okay. Yeah, he's married already.
Drive-Thru Ribfest is returning this weekend to Centerfire Place. You definitely want to get your rib on. We have Terry from Buckeye BQQ on the phone. Now, are the ribs for this weekend already marinating?
Yes, they are. So we put a dry rub on them when we pre-smoke them, and then we smoke them with our rub, and then when we go to serve them and put them on the grill, everyone's got their own barbecue sauce, their special sauce. So they'll put them on the sauce or on the ribs, and then we'll serve them out to the people.
Hey, Terry, where are you from?
I'm from Ontario myself, but the truck is from St. Louis, Missouri.
Ooh.
2 years ago I bought Buckeye BQQ, and I've got the Canadian rights now from coast to coast up here in Canada. So we travel from, pretty much from Ontario all the way out to BC, doing Ribfest events here, there, and everywhere.
Oh, that is so cool. I've heard so much about Midwest barbecue, Kansas barbecue, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, our slogan is, we're from St. Louis, Missouri, so pretty much every rack of ribs that everybody gets now, your regular cut of ribs are the St. Louis style cut of ribs.
Interesting.
So that's one thing that we take our pride in is we sell that St. Louis style rib that everybody enjoys.
Now, tell me about a Buckeye. What's a Buckeye?
What's Buckeye? Well, Buckeye BQQ just kind of came from a name. The owner, Andrew, came up with it years ago, and we're sort of that cowboy Midwest family-friendly restaurant.
All right. Well, hey, Terry, we're looking forward to it. Ribfest is this weekend. There's drive-through. There's also walk-up options. I'm definitely going to be getting a plate of that, and then I'm going to look forward to just devouring it as well.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. We're looking forward to everyone here coming out in Fort McMurray. We like to say that Fort McMurray is the capital of Ribfest in Canada.
Yes.
Believe it or not, Fort McMurray has hosted the most Ribfest events in Canada in the last 3 years.
That's amazing. Go Fort McMurray,
Yeah.
go.
Go us.
Exactly, right? I don't think a lot of people kind of know that little bit of tidbit information.
Well, we just apparently love our ribs. Pandemic's not going to stop us.
Yeah, no, and that's it. I think everybody here is enjoying what we do and what we bring up to Fort McMurray, helping out the community. And, reception is always overwhelming here. Never hear a bad word. Everybody's friendly, happy-go-lucky. Yeah, it's a great stop on our tour.
All right, Terry. Well, we look forward to Buckeye BQQ and seeing yourself doing what you do, and definitely looking forward to it all.
Well, thank you guys very much.
Make sure you go and see Terry at Buckeye BQQ, as well as all the other barbecue trucks for Ribfest this weekend, drive-through event or sit-down live music happening as well, Friday and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.